Hi, I'm Randy from Truck Bed Treasures. For 40 years, Cheryl and I have been digging through basements, attics, hoarder houses, barns, anywhere where we could find and unearth treasures and put them back in the hands of the people that really appreciate what they are. So, if you're watching this video, please watch it to the end and subscribe. We go on a lot of adventures and misadventures, and we're inviting you to come with us on every one. Thanks. Enjoy the video. Hi, welcome to another video from Truck Bed Treasures. I kind of started this one off with having some of the items I'm going to be showing in the back of the truck already. And as you know, we emptied out a hoarder house a few years back, and we're just now emptying the totes out of our storage unit, getting ready for summer and more hoarder houses and more buyouts. So, I'm going to start talking about these old oil lanterns. And it's kind of, I dug for these because I knew they were somewhere in the storage unit, and I have a lot of them I'm going to be showing you today. And we did the glass oil lanterns, and these are like kerosene lanterns, and not oil but kerosene. And some of these were in a shed outside in the yard of the hoarder, and you can tell they're pretty dirty and still intact. I mean, the glass is still good, the original glass with the writing on it, which is kind of rare, and they all have their names and model numbers on the bottoms, writing on both sides of the bases. So these are really cool displays. We've sold a lot of these types of lanterns to TV shows and movie sets to use as props, and also some commercials. So, they have value, they have decorative value, and most of them probably still work. They're pretty solid. So, I'm just going to start going through what we have and show you the different styles. This one is a very small one compared to the others. And most of these are made in Japan. They're very small red ones like this. So I'm going to set that down in front because there's going to be a lot of them that are bigger. This is, what happens to these lamps when they get left out in the elements or they're not taken care of. They rust out on the bottom, but the globe is still really collectible, and this top piece, so it can be used for parts, and that's probably what it would get used for. But they're just nice displays. If you have it turned around, you don't see the damage on that one. And boy, there's a lot of them. Here's one that kind of hard to read without cleaning them up. This one's out of New York. You can see probably the original color right there is kind of a green. But in log homes and rustic farm settings, these are really cool and nice for props too. It's kind of an awesome blue one. So you get a variety of colors on them. It's another red one, only taller. It's kind of got a nice little display. It looks like an eagle or some type of a bird on the globe. You would adjust the wick with this. It would turn the wick up so you can get a higher flame and more light out of it. Here is a very rustic. You've got peeling paint. It's a number 2 Blizzard. Blizzard's a really popular common brand. So it's kind of a big one, kind of a tall lamp. Back in the day, this one's missing a globe. I like the rustic patina on it. And this is a number 2 Supreme. It's probably a Blizzard also. No, it's a Embury manufacturing company out of Warsaw, W-A-R-S-A-W, New York, USA. But somebody put a can on the back of it, an R.J. Reynolds, Winston-Salem. They put it on the back to reflect the flame forward, to get more light out of it, which is kind of a unique thing to do. You know, back then people were pretty ingenious and they tried a lot of different things, and it's kind of cool that they did that. And I'm trying to arrange these in a way that you can continue to see them as I'm filming. So if anybody has got any of these lamps and you still use them, you know, leave me a comment and let me know what you use them for. You know, I know around here some people use them for Halloween, you know, anything that would be scary or frightening. Here's another old Blizzard. You can see the embossed words, but they're just so dirty. You know, it looks like somebody might have tried to paint this one. You know, it's a Dietz Blizzard. Dietz makes Blizzard, D-I-E-T-Z. But they just have so much character, and they clean up really well. You know, you'd pull this little lever right there, this one right there, and the top would lift up so you could light it. You know, you watch the old Western movies, and you see a lot of these in there that they would use for lighting. This is a different style. Boy, is that old. I mean, look at the dirt. Look at the dirt on there. I mean, this is just old, old, old. But you can see on this one, this goes all the way up, and I think this would be kind of like an air, to keep air circulating, where on these are more side. This is a lot older style, and I know some of these older styles like this can go, you know, $400, $500, $600. I don't think this one is, but some of them go that high. Here's another one. That's a Monarch. And that's a little bit newer model. It's got the curved top versus the very primitive sharp corners. But again, these things have been around, you know, for probably over 100 years, some of them. And to still have, you know, the glass survive. There is glass under here. It's just a lot of gunk on top of it. So, the last one I'm bringing out is another tall one. And the metal's starting to come through. This one's also a Dietz. It's a Dietz Delight. You know, Dietz made a lot of lanterns, big lantern maker. And this is the short video for today. These are the totes that I decided to grab. Just obvious reasons. I like the old things, you know. I like the glassware and everything also, but I also really like the old things. I've got a question for you guys. I'm thinking of, you know, I'm a product designer. I do a lot of pet products. And I was thinking of talking about one of my products that I designed and sold out to a company right away. It's a pretty ingenious design, and it has to do with trap, neuter, release for cats. You know, where people trap cats, they get them neutered or spayed, and then they release them back out. And I was a county humane officer for a lot of years, and it kind of inspired me to design this product. And I'd like to do a video on it. And if you would be interested in seeing that and having me talk a little bit about it, I'd really love to show you what I designed, because it's really good for, it's probably the most humane product in its field for cats. So, you know, if you'd like to see it, please leave a comment. If I don't hear any comments, I'll probably still do it. And it's going to be kind of
away from what I normally do as far as picking, but I do have another job and I have a lot of fun doing it. So if you want to see a couple of my designs, final products of what I've designed, every once in a while I'd like to do a video of that. So I hope you enjoyed this one. It was very simple, but it was somewhat informative, and it shows a lot of lanterns. People don't usually get to see large groups of lanterns like this, and I thought maybe you'd like it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And we're pretty raw. We're not fine-tuned Hollywood productions. We're just us, and we do what we do. And we hope that the things that we unearth touches you a little bit, makes you think of the past. So I'll let you go if you haven't gone already. And thanks for listening to me ramble on. And please subscribe and like our videos. See you next time. Bye.